Look at that. We hit 100K on this boy. It's a little hard to see, but all sevens. It's my lucky day. Time to change a bunch of parts.
You can flip once you're in the water.
Oh, God.
That's all we got.
Well, look at that. We got some great progress. I got that window in, got this fully done and sighted, and the pool is up. We're living the dream. The deck, that's another story. So here we are in the Jeep, cruising right along, racking up those miles. Got a couple hundred more on it now while I've been waiting for parts. And essentially, the problem I was experiencing about 2 weeks ago was flying down the highway 70 miles an hour, roughly, and started pulling to the right really bad. So, checking all my suspension with, every once in a while I'd be getting a little death wobble right at 40 miles an hour. I'd been over everything. The only thing I could find was the tie rod was a little bit loose. You know, I could move it pretty easily with my hands. So I decided I need to order one of those. And then once this started pulling so hard to the right, as soon as I got home, I checked the wheel, and the hub was so hot. I mean, I could not touch it for not even 1 second. It was burning hot. Went to the the driver's side, and it was all good. So I knew that either my brake caliper was sticking or the hub was damaged, which that wheel took a pretty good hit before, so I just thought I might as well go all out, get new brake pads. Checked the rotor, and it didn't really have any wear on it or anything, and the brakes don't pulse or anything like that, so it doesn't have warped rotors. And so I decided not to get any rotors. So I got new brake pads, new hub, and tie rod ends. Also got outer axle seals that kind of fit into the end of the axle tube. So we'll get all that done, because when I had this front end apart, I put new axle seals in it, and they only lasted for maybe a year and a half, about a year, which I think I put roughly 15 to 20,000 miles on this thing in that amount of time. And now when I park it on flat ground, like anywhere, basically both axles leave a little leak. So we need to get that rectified. So we'll do all that, top off our fluid, and hopefully get this thing back on track. All right, Jeep's been sitting here for a few minutes, cooling off. Gonna grab the jack, get this passenger side up in the air, pull the wheel off. Here's a look at our parts list we got together. One on the bottom, that's for the Camaro, so just know that'll be coming here real soon. Got some stuff going there. And these are our axle tube seals, go in the outer axle, and we can grease them. And yeah, hopefully that'll keep any lube from coming out of those axles anymore. And here's our wheel hub. It's been a while since I pulled that apart, but looks correct. I remember those 3 bolts that hold it on to the axle, or the spindle, were pretty tough last time. And we got our brake pads with some slider grease, so be sure to use all that. Make sure our sliders aren't getting stuck or jammed up or anything. But let's just get into it. All right, as you can see, 100,000 miles on a Jeep. That's really pushing it, you know. She's past her expiration date. We're gonna have to get on a lot of things here, you know. You got bump stops just falling out, rotting away, you know. It's the kind of quality you get in America, I guess. But what we're doing today here. Kind of see here we got a bit of greasy goo leaking off, coming out of there. Rotors, they don't have much wear on them. They're pretty good. So let's start by pulling this caliper off, take the rotor off, get this nut off here, and then hopefully we'll have enough room. We can get in here and get to these bolts in the back. Got 3 of them that are holding our holding the hub on there. Kind of hard to see, but yeah. From that point, we should be able to, once the spindle's off or the hub's off, then we can slide the axle out, put that axle seal right in here, and in place of this little like mud guard, rock guard deal, and that ought to keep us from spilling out oil. Also, the tie rod has not arrived yet, so that's still waiting. You can see it's shouldn't be that easy to move around, so I think it's just kind of worn out of lube. Like I said, 100k miles, this thing, it ain't a Toyota. Oh, yes. So easy a caveman could do it. Let's see what kind of wear we got on these brake pads. I should have a zip tie or something to hang this on. Definitely pretty froze up on here. That could be a problem. Yeah, should not be that difficult to get your caliper off. So either our piston is seizing up or we need to grease these sliders so that this thing can move back and forth a little more freely. Set that there for a minute. Yeah! This is not working. Whose idea was to do this when it was 90 degrees outside? Turns out we were a little unprepared. Had to go grab one of these here, guys. I was about to purchase it, and the guy said, you know, you can just rent that. Costs even $1 less. So if I decide to keep it, I saved $1. This one was brand new. That was a deal. She's a little loose. That's what I heard on the old forums, that 35 might fit. We had it off not too long ago, so that should do the job. Just a touch more. Yeah. We got her. These threads in here are all blue and red. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or it's getting a little hot. Yeah. Next, I already got a couple of the bolts out of the hub. We'll take the third one out. Whole thing should just come right off. Okay. That and the hub. All right, Axle Rose, you're coming out next. Not sure how much grease you're supposed to fill this up with, but I would say more is better. I'm going to grease all these O-rings before I stuff it in the housing, and then pack this whole pocket here, and That way we can ensure it's not going to get all tore up. Almost there. It's actually been 2 days, and I have in my hands what appears to be a new brake caliper. I haven't checked it, make sure it matches up and fits, but from here it's looking pretty good. Let me show you what happened to the old one. So I tried to unfreeze the piston. Oh man, this is a mess. Anyway, you're not going to be able to see it because it's full of fluid, but I ended up actually puncturing a hole right through the piston. Super awesome. So that's why we got brake fluid everywhere. Made a big mess. But hey, we got a new one. Life doesn't get any better than that, right? So we'll swap the brake lines over, stuff our new pads in the new caliper, stick it on there, and put our wheel back on. This side should be completely finished. And I also got the new tie rod arrived today, so it's basically perfect. We'll just jump right in and get everything done. There we have it. 100% legit. So legit, I might not quit. Get out of here. Hey, cut the noise out over there. All right, we got the caliper fully bolted on. Everything's good. Open the bleeder, letting it gravity feed there for a minute. And I got a vacuum bleeder I'll shove on there to get it done. And the boat we took out on the water a couple times. 3 times so far. It's been pretty good. I'm trying to dial in the carburetor a little bit. I think the float might be misadjusted or stuck, so I'm gonna do that in a minute. And pretty sure I've been driving this for a couple 100 miles now since I replaced all this front end stuff. And after getting both of these tie rods replaced, I'm happy to report there's no more death wobble. None. Beyond the exhaust leak, running really well. Did the job.